So, why do I keep doing this? When I know that Google and YouTube have shadow banned my channel and suppressed my content. It's because I don't want your future to become my past. What does that mean? I don't want your life to be like my life has been, where someone feels they can come along and abuse you verbally, saying horrible things to you and downgrading you and making you feel like shit about yourself just because they've had a bad day or they're just plain mean. That's why I keep doing this, because that's your future. If you continue to roll along and leave things unchecked, it should be pretty damn obvious by now to anyone who's been paying attention is that the corporations and the people in power think you're stupid, you're worthless, and your opinion doesn't count. If that wasn't the case, they would promote everyone equally without bias, which certainly isn't the way that it is. So let me say it again. I don't want your future to become my past, where somebody can come along and beat the living hell out of you without any repercussions. Terrorize your life and threaten to maim, harm, or kill the things that you love. Most of you might not have believed that 6 months ago. But given the attitudes of some of the groups and political philosophies out there, it should be pretty damn obvious that should they ever gain control, that's exactly what's going to happen. Take, for example, the people of Virginia, who have more than likely, in some cases, lost sleep about the threats that the government has made against their freedoms. Worry on a regular basis what just might happen when they finally go through or follow through with their threats. You know what the real bitch is about our system? It's up to the good people to take a stand and watch over the blessings of liberty, or they end up disappearing. It's up to the good people who don't want to get involved, who don't want to lead, to actually take an interest and promote freedom. That's how we got where we're at. And that's why your future could potentially become my past. And let me let you in on a little secret. It takes a lot of terror and a lot of abuse before you wake up one day and say, screw it, I don't care no more. It takes a long time before you actually come to that realization that if you have to be scared every day and live in fear, that life isn't worth living. And that's when you decide not to be scared anymore. But unfortunately, should things shift the other way and the negative forces of the world finally take control, it'll be more than likely too late. Because will have already surrendered our free speech and our firearms because we didn't want to get involved. We didn't want to make any waves. How do I know that? Because that was my past. I didn't want to make any waves. I didn't want to see people get in trouble for the horrible things that they were doing. So I kept my mouth shut, and it all went the other way. And there ain't no going back. There was a time when the whole thing could have turned, but unfortunately, that day has passed. And contrary to popular belief, it hasn't passed yet in this country. there's still a chance to turn it all around. That's why the left and the Democrats have been fighting against a duly elected president so hard, because they want to maintain their control. And they fear losing it, because by losing it, they'll be exposed. That's what drives all of this modern day book burning, by releasing or limiting access to information, by running people off of platforms, by all kinds of things that have been introduced ever since 2016. They had us right where they wanted us. And then something happened. And things went beyond their control. And that's why they're fighting so hard. That's why they've been doing the things that they've been doing. And it works that way for the other side as well. Everything that has been exposed, drip by drip, has been to educate us, the American people, as to what has really been going on behind the scenes up until this point. I'm so tired of hearing that Donald Trump is colluding with the Russians and that he's an agent of Israel. I could throw up. I've heard all the evidence, looked into all the side stories, and as far as I'm concerned, none of it holds water. I think it's a bunch of bullshit. Propaganda introduced by people with something to hide, who just don't freaking understand. It's a common tactic throughout history of people releasing bits of information that they can prove it's true, so they can release information so that the public will believe it based on what they've done before, even though the current information they have released isn't true. And other people pick it up and run with it, gathering up others with them along the way, sowing the seeds of dissent, so that others won't be able to focus on what's really important. And what's really important? Freedom, liberty, the opportunity to decide your own fate and live your own life. Something we all overlook as we watch basketball, football, cat videos, and Netflix garbage. But who am I to have an opinion? I'm just some dumbass mechanic with a cell phone who takes things apart for a living, diagnoses problems, puts it all back together, and hopefully the shit actually works. But I'll let you in on a little secret. Doing that job is twice as hard when there's some jackass out on the shop floor talking shit that he don't know nothing about, just to sound important, to sound like he knows what he's talking about. Because if you're the guy doing the job and you take the jackass's advice to heart and actually go along the lines that he's spouting, even though he doesn't have the proper information, you're going to make a mistake. And that's all going to fall on you when you go to fire that junk up and it don't run. You have to be able to pick and choose. Use your own common sense and discernment along the way. Because you might just get some good advice. But if it doesn't apply when you're looking at the big picture, you have to throw it away. So I'll say it again, as I've said many times in the past. Everything changed in 2016. That's what the pieces tell me. That's what the parts and information that I have been exposed to along the way say about this entire situation. And somebody else, some other group of people, is terrified of being exposed to what they were trying to do and the things that they have done along the way. And that has dictated the things that they have done up till now. and the parallels that I have experienced in my past and in my career as a mechanic speak volumes to what has been going on ever since the 2016 election. So I'll say it again, because people's attention spans are pretty damn short these days, and a video that runs more than 15 minutes probably ain't going to get too many plays, especially on a shadow banned and suppressed channel. I keep doing this because I don't want my past to become your future. Because I'll tell you right now, my past was horrible, and I almost didn't survive it on several occasions. And if you aren't willing to take an interest in your freedoms and your liberty, you might just have to live that way too, in the very recent future. And as for myself, I can't afford to have someone who's never picked up a wrench or a hammer tell me different. Because I've lived your potential future, and I ain't going back there without a fight. So I'm going to say what needs to be said, whether I think it's popular or not. Because when the dust settles, at the very least, I can say I tried. Have a nice day, ladies and gentlemen.